Hello students, welcome to the online session of database management system. In last session we have studied the concept of keys in relational model, super keys, candidate keys and primary keys. In today's session we are going to study about functional dependency in relational model. So the contents of today's session are introduction to the concept of functional dependency, properties of functional dependency which are also called as Armstrong axioms, and types of functional dependency. The concept of functional dependency is related to the concept of keys in relational model. If you carefully learn the concept of keys, then you will be able to understand the concept of functional dependency very easily. Okay, so the learning objectives of today's session are, after learning this session, students will be able to define functional dependency. Students will be able to identify functional dependencies in a relation. Students will be able to describe the properties of functional dependency, and students will be able to describe different types of functional dependencies. So let's start with the functional dependency. Here, functional dependency or FD represents the relationship between attributes in a same relation. Okay, when we say one attribute in a relation uniquely determines another attribute of same relation, then there exists a functional dependency between those two attributes, and that FD is represented by arrow symbol. Now consider one relational schema of stored table. One stored table is there which consists of two attributes, roll number and name. Here, if functional dependency is written like roll number arrow name, okay, means there is a relationship between roll number and name attribute, which is a functional dependency. Then we can say that attribute roll number is determining the attribute of name. Okay, now see, in a in student relation, which is used to store the information of all students in one class, in that relation all students are having unique roll number. Okay, so by using that roll number we can identify the name of student. It means that roll number attribute is determining the value of name. Okay, so that's why we can say that roll number and name, there is a functional dependency between these two attributes. Okay, so here we can say that if any two tuples are having same value of attribute roll number, then those two tuple will have same value of attribute name, because roll number is determining name. So this functional dependency roll number determines name is read as roll number determines name, or you can read this functional dependency as name is functionally dependent on roll number. Okay, so this is related to primary key concept. We can say that student table roll number is a primary key, means roll number is an attribute which is determining the value of other attributes in a student relation. Okay, so that is functional dependency. Now consider one department table. In this department table we have three attributes: department ID, department name and location. Okay, now see here, there are 6 department IDs are given and 6 department names are given. When we say department ID D1, department name is computer and location is third floor. When we say department ID D3, department name is civil and location is ground floor. Okay, it means that department name and location, these two attributes are dependent on department ID. Okay, it means that if department ID is given to you as an input value, then you can identify department name and you can identify location of that department also. Okay, so here we can say that in this department, department ID determines department name, department ID determines location. These two are the functional dependencies. Okay, because by using department ID you can search or you can identify the values of department name and location. Okay, similarly we have another functional dependency here, department name determines department ID. Now if department name is given to you, that is mechanical, then you can easily identify the ID of that department. Okay, means the department ID is dependent on department name. Then we have another functional dependency like department name identifies location or department name determines location. It means that if any department name is given to you, then you can search for the location, or you can identify the exact location of that department. Okay, for example, if electronics department name is given to you, then you can say that electronics department has location 3rd floor. Okay, so these are the functional dependencies on this department table. Now see, if you insert any new row in this department for computer department, okay, in this table for computer department, then department ID will be D1 and department name will be computer only, and the location is again 3rd floor. Okay, it means that whenever you repeat the value of department ID in your table, the department name and location will be same. That's why we can call this as a functional dependency. Department name is dependent on department ID, and location is dependent on department ID. Similarly, if you insert a new row for electronics department, then the department ID will be D5 only. There will be no other department ID. Okay, so that's why we can say that department name is determining department ID. So this is the concept of functional dependency. When one attribute is dependent on another attribute. Attribute means when the value of one attribute is determined by the value of another attribute, then we can say that there is a functional dependency between those two attributes. Okay. Now let's see what are the invalid functional dependencies. Okay. See, when we say location is determining department ID, okay, it is an invalid functional dependency, because for 3rd floor, because the location, if the location is 3rd floor, then we have two department IDs here. For one tuple, the value of department ID is D1 and the location is 3rd floor. Okay, and search for the another location with same value, that is 3rd floor, but here the department ID is D5. Okay, means for the same value of location we are having different values of department ID. So that's why we cannot say location is determining department ID. Similarly, for same value of location we are having different values of department name. So this functional dependency is again invalid, that is location is determining department name. See, now if I say location of department is 2nd floor, now tell me the department name. So here there are two tuples having location 2nd floor, and if you look at the department name, then in one tuple department name is instrumentation, and in second tuple department name is information technology. Okay, means for same value of location there are two different values of department name. So here location is determining department name, or department name is dependent on location. This functional dependency is invalid. Okay, so this is how functional dependency works. Now from this functional dependencies you can say that department ID is a primary key. Okay, because department ID, by using department ID you can identify each row uniquely. Similarly, department name is also a primary key, because from department name you can identify department ID uniquely, and from department name you can uniquely identify location. Okay, so here in this case department ID is a candidate key and it can be a primary key, and department name is also a candidate key and it can be a primary key. Okay, so we are talking about this relation only, the values which are given in this relation. Okay, so these are the functional dependency for this table. Now let's take another example of employee table. Here we have 5 attribute: employee ID, name, department, designation and age. Okay, so see what are the functional dependencies. Here the first functional dependency is employee ID determines employee name. Okay, so see, employee ID 1, employee name is John. Employee ID 2, employee name is Jack. Now here there are two rows for employee ID 1. Two rows are having same employee ID, that is 1 and 1. And employee names are also same. Okay, means these two rows are belonging to same person. These two rows are belonging to single person. Okay, so we can say that employee ID is determining the value of employee name. Okay, here I have repeated employee ID 1 twice. So name for that employee ID, that employee is John itself. Okay, means the repeated value of employee ID, the value of e-name is same. The value of e-name is similar. Okay, that's why we can say that employee ID is determining employee name. Similarly, employee ID is determining age. This functional dependency is also valid. Okay, so if you repeat your employee ID number of times, the value of age will be same. See, the value of the value of age for employee ID 1 is 50. Again, the value of age for employee ID 1 is 50. Okay, so here we can say that employee ID is determining the value of age, because for the one employee ID the value of age is same or the constant. Now we have another functional dependency, that is employee name and department. This is a combination of candidate key which is determining employee ID. Okay, so if you say John and production, if you take this combination, then from this combination you can say the employee ID is 1. Again, Jack and marketing, this is another combination. You can easily identify the employee ID, that is 2. Okay, now let's see this combination John and production. Now we have this combination twice in a table. John and production first row and John and marketing, this is fourth row. Okay, but for this the employee ID is same. Okay, means if you say John and production, if you repeat this value again in a employee table, then employee ID will be 1. Okay, employee ID will be only 1. So this is how we can say employee name and department is identifying employee ID. Similarly, employee name and department is identifying or determining designation. When you say Jack marketing, this combination, so Jack and marketing, for this combination your designation is assistant manager. Again we have another combination Jack and production. Here designation is team leader. Values are different but the combination is also different. Okay, see, when we say combination Jack and marketing and Jack and production, here both are having different employee IDs. So these two are the different employees. Okay, that's why Jack and marketing and Jack and production, these are two different combinations and they are determining designation. Okay, so this is the valid functional dependency. Now let's see what are the invalid functional dependency. Now for this department there are number of invalid functional dependency. We can say department cannot determine designation. Okay, because let's see, department is production, designation is manager. Again department is production but the designation is team leader. Means here we are having two values of production but the values of designations are different, so it is not a valid functional dependency. Similarly, employee name determines department. This is a invalid functional dependency. Now look at the table. Employee name is John, department is production. Employee name is John, department is marketing. Means for same value of employee name there are two different values of department. So employee name is not determining department. Similarly, employee name is not determining designation. Okay, see, here John is working in production department and on manager designation, and John is working in marketing department as a assistant manager. So from employee name you cannot identify the exact designation. So here employee name determines designation. This is an invalid functional dependency. Similarly, employee name determines age. This is also invalid functional dependency. See, here for there are two employees with same name, that is Jack. Okay, but these two are the different employees because employee IDs are different. One is having employee ID 2 and second is having employee ID 3, and the ages of both the employees are different. One employee is having age 48 and second employee is having age 30. Means for the same name we have two different values of age. Okay, so that's why we can say that employee name determines age is a invalid functional dependency. Age is not dependent on employee name. Okay, so this is how we can find out the functional dependencies from the table. Now next concept is attribute closure. Now what is meant by closure? So closure of a attribute is a set of attributes that are functionally dependent on attribute. Okay, means here if I want to find out the closure of employee ID, then I'll find out all those attributes which are functionally dependent on employee ID. Okay, so there are some rules to find out the closure of employee to find out the closure of any attribute. Okay, so first you need to find out all the attribute that are determined by that particular attribute. Means if I want to find out the closure of employee ID, then first I'll write employee ID as it is. Okay, because employee ID is determined by employee ID, it is a single attribute, so that will be determined by that attribute. Then employee ID determines a employee name, so that is another attribute which is dependent on employee ID. And we have another functional dependency, employee ID determines age, so age is also dependent on employee ID. So this set, employee ID, employee name and age, these three attributes are dependent on employee ID, so that is the closure set of employee ID attribute. Okay, see here we have another combination, employee ID and e-name. Now what is the closure of employee ID and e-name? First you write down these two attributes as it is in a result. Okay, so employee ID and e-name, these two are the attributes which are dependent on this combination. Similarly we have third attribute, that is age, which is dependent on employee ID, so that will also dependent on employee ID and e-name. So this is the closure set of employee ID and e-name. Now let's take another example, that is e-name. Now e-name is an attribute, but e-name is not determining any other attribute. Okay, so that's why the closure of e-name is e-name itself. Okay, e-name is not determining any other attribute in your relation. Now let's have another example, that is department. Department is the attribute which determines department only. Department is not determining any other attribute. So there is no attribute in department closure other than department. Similar is the case of designation. Designation is not determining any other attribute. So there is no closure set. The closure set consists of only designation attribute. Now let's take example of e-name and department combination. Okay, now e-name and department, this combination is determining employee ID. Okay, it is written in our functional dependency. Employee name and department, this combination is determining employee ID. Okay, so employee ID is written in a closure set. E-name is determined by this combination, so e-name is written. Department is determined by the combination, so department is written. Okay, now see here in your result we have employee ID, e-name and department, these three attributes which are the closure of e-name and department. Now consider employee ID here. What is the closure of employee ID? The closure of employee ID is employee ID, e-name and age. Okay, means age is determined by employee ID. So age is also determined by e-name and department. Okay, similar is the designation. Employee name and department collectively determines designation. Okay, so this is the closure set of e-name and department. Now from these closures we can find out the candidate keys and primary key. Okay, so what is primary key? Primary key is the attribute which identify all attributes in a relation uniquely. So here you can say employee ID is not identifying all attribute. Okay, employee ID is identifying only employee ID, name and age. Okay, similarly e-name is not identifying all attribute. Department is not identifying all attribute. Now which is the key or which is the set that identifies all attribute? The set is e-name and department. So e-name and department is a candidate key. Okay, so candidate key or primary key is what? It is a attribute or it is a set of attribute that uniquely identifies all attributes in your table. So here in this closure set, e-name and department, this combination is the only combination that identifies all the attribute in the department. So that is the candidate key. Okay, now let's take another example, customer. So this customer example has customer ID, name, state, country, product and phone. These attribute. So functional dependencies are customer ID determines customer name. Yes, if customer ID 1 is having name Max. So again there is another row for customer ID name. Customer ID 1 and name is also same, that is Max. So customer ID is determining customer name. Another is customer ID determining state. It is also true. If you say customer ID 1 is from India, okay, then that customer ID 1, if you repeat that value of customer ID, the value of country will be the same. So customer ID is determining state. Customer ID is determining country. Okay, see, customer ID 1 is from Maharashtra and from India. Now, if you repeat the value of customer ID, the value of state and value of country will be same. So that is true. Now, state determines country. This is also true. Okay, because when you say Maharashtra, country will be India. When you say Florida, country will be US. Okay, means if you repeat the value of state, the value of country will be same. So that is also true. Now take a combination of customer ID and product. If you say customer ID 1, product P1, there is one phone number. Okay. Now if you repeat this combination customer ID 1 and product 1, then the value of phone number will be same. So that is the functional dependency. Okay. See here, customer, now there is another row for customer ID 1. Product is P2 and phone number is same. Okay, but this customer ID and product, this combination is different. Okay, so customer ID and product determines phone. This is a valid functional dependency. Similarly, customer ID and customer name determines state. When you say customer ID 1, customer name Max, this combination, so this combination is determining state Maharashtra. Okay, so this is how functional dependencies can be set for any table. Now what are invalid functional dependency? Invalid functional dependencies are customer ID determines product. See, it is invalid because for customer ID 1, first product is P1 and again the value is repeated, customer ID 1, but now product is P2. So from customer ID you cannot identify product. Okay, there is no similar value. Okay, same is the customer ID identifies phone. Okay, now see here, customer ID and phone. Customer ID 1 has one phone number. Again there is another value for customer ID 1, another row, phone number is same. Okay, so it is for first customer ID. Now again there is another customer ID 2. Okay, phone number is one value. Again there is another row for customer ID 2. Now here phone number is different. So we cannot say that customer ID determines phone number. Okay, same customer name determines country. Okay, see here, Max is a customer which is from India. Now another Max is there which is from US. So for same value of Max, same value of CNAME, there are different values of country. So CNAME is not determining country. Similarly, CNAME is not determining state. One Max is from Maharashtra and second Max is from California. So it is also invalid functional dependency. Same, customer name is not determining product again. See, Max has purchased two products, P1 and P2. Okay, so even if there are two rows having same name Max, the value of product is different, P1 and P2. Okay, so that's why customer name determines product. This is invalid functional dependency. Now let's see what are the attribute closures for customer table. Customer ID. Customer ID attribute is determining customer ID, customer name, state and product, but it is not determining phone and product. Okay, similarly, let's take another example, customer ID and CNAME. If you take this combination, then customer ID and CNAME, this combination is determining customer ID and CNAME because it is a part of combination. It is determining state, it is determining country, but this combination is not determining product and this combination is not determining phone number because for the same value of this combination there are different values of product and phone number. Similarly, state, if you say state, Then what is the closure of state attribute? The closure of state attribute is state itself, and another is country. Country is dependent on state. So the closure of this state attribute consists of only two attributes. Then next is customer ID and product. Now take this combination. So what is the closure set? Closure set is first copy these two attribute as it is in a closure set. So customer ID and product. Now see, customer ID and product, this attribute determines phone. Okay, so phone number is dependent on this combination. So it is in a closure set. Now customer ID determines customer name. Okay, so that is also in a closure set. Now see, customer ID determines state. See, closure of customer ID. Customer ID determines state. So this state can be determined by this combination also. Customer ID determines country. So country can be identified by this combination also. Okay. So customer ID and product is the combination which is used to identify all the attribute in your table uniquely. Okay. So here customer ID and product is the only candidate key because it identifies all the attribute in your product in your table uniquely. Okay, so that is the candidate key. Now let's move to the types of functional dependency. In relational model, we have trivial functional dependency, non-trivial functional dependency, multi-valued functional dependency, and transitive functional dependency. Okay, these are the types of functional dependencies in relational model. But remember, not every relation has all the functional dependencies. Okay, not all functional dependencies are possible in every relation. Some relation may have trivial functional dependency, some may have multi-valued functional dependency, some relations may have transitive functional dependency, okay? But not always the case that one relation is having all functional dependencies, okay? So for each functional dependency, we need to take different types of examples. Now, next is what are the properties of functional dependencies? So there are three properties of functional dependencies, and these properties are also called as Armstrong axioms. Okay, now consider one relation R with three attributes X, Y, Z. Okay, so first property is reflexivity property. Okay, so here if Y attribute is a subset of X attribute, then X determines Y. This is the functional dependency. Okay, means if Y is a subset of X, then we can find out the value of Y from X. So this is the functional dependency. Now see, what is the example of reflexivity property? The example is if we take a combination as customer ID and name. Okay, if this is the combination, and this combination is determining customer ID. Okay, it is true. It is a functional dependency. So here CID is a subset of customer ID and name. Okay, it is a subset because CID is a part of this key. Okay, so this is called as a reflexivity of functional dependency. This is called as reflexive functional dependency. Okay, now here see, our functional dependency is customer ID and name is determining customer ID. Here customer ID and name is called as determinant and customer ID is called as dependent. Okay, because the value of customer ID is dependent on customer ID and name. So the attribute which is at left side of functional dependency is called as determinant, and the attribute which is at right side of functional dependency, means the right side of arrow, is called as dependent. Okay, so here your dependent is a subset of determinant, that's why it is called as reflexive functional dependency. Okay, the next property is augmentation. So here if X and Y, these two attributes are there, if X is determining Y, then XZ, this combination is determining YZ. Okay, now consider here X is customer ID, Y is customer name, and Z is phone number. Okay, see here customer ID is determining customer name. This is the functional dependency. Okay, customer ID is determining customer name. This is functional dependency. Then we can say that customer ID and phone, this combination is determining customer name and phone. Okay, this is also true. So this is augmentation rule. Okay, means if three attributes are there in your relation, and if there exists a functional dependency between any two attribute, okay, then you can append third attribute in that functional dependency. Okay, see, I am again repeating, if customer ID is determining customer name, then there is another attribute phone. We can append this phone to each of the attribute. Means if customer ID is determining customer name, then the combination customer ID phone is determining combination customer name and phone. This is also a functional dependency. This is augmentation functional dependency. Then next type of functional dependency or the property of functional dependency is transitivity. Okay. Now what is transitivity? If there are three attributes x, y, z, and if x is determining y is determining z, then indirectly x is determining z. This is true. Okay. Now consider customer ID is determining name. Customer name is determining age. Then indirectly customer ID is determining age. So this is transitivity property. Okay. Now let's see the types of functional dependency in detail. First type of functional dependency is trivial functional dependency, and this trivial functional dependency is dependent on the property of reflexivity. That is, dependent is the subset of determinant. This is the reflexive property. Again, take one example, employee ID and e-name. This is the key. This key is determining employee ID. Okay, so here the left side of arrow, that is employee ID and e-name, it is a determinant, and right side of arrow, that is employee ID, it is a dependent. So this dependent is the subset of determinant. So we can say that this is a trivial functional dependency. Again, take another example, book ID and book name. This is one combination. This book ID and book name combination is determining book name, and now this book name is the subset of this book ID and book name. Okay, book name is the part of this entire key. So we can say that this is a trivial functional dependency, and in every relation we have trivial functional dependency. This trivial functional dependency is based on the reflexivity property of functional dependency. Okay. Then we have another functional dependency called non-trivial functional dependency. Okay, so non-trivial functional dependency is if dependent is not a subset of determinant, then that functional dependency is called as non-trivial functional dependency. It is opposite to trivial. See, employee ID is determining e-name. E-name is not a subset of employee ID, so it is non-trivial. Okay. Customer ID and product, this combination is determining phone, but phone is not a subset of this key. Phone is not a subset of this combination, so this is non-trivial functional dependency. Okay, so this is trivial and non-trivial functional dependency. Now next is multi-valued functional dependency. Now for multi-valued functional dependency, in this functional dependency there are multiple independent attributes present in a relation, and they are dependent on a common attribute. Okay, and if we want multi-valued functional dependency on any relation, then that relation at least have three attributes. That relation must consist of at least three attributes. Okay, now let's take example. Here we have example of one table. This table consists of three attributes: name, course, and hobby. Name of a person, the course for which that person has enrolled, and the hobby that person is having. Okay, so here we can say that name is determining course. Okay, so it is true. Max has enrolled for database, Max has enrolled for Java. Now see, the name is multi-valued, means the attribute is having multiple value for the same person. Okay, so here Max is the name of person and the value of course is database and Java, and the value of hobby is singing and dancing. Okay, so that Max person has enrolled for 2 courses. It is a multi-valued functional dependency, so it is allowed. Okay, for single person there are different values. It is allowed for multi-valued functional dependency. And Max is having 2 hobbies, singing and dancing. Now how it is multi-valued functional dependency? Here first condition is it is having 3 attribute. Okay, so that is satisfied. Now see, name is identifying course, okay, and name is identifying hobby. But course and hobby, these 2 attributes are not dependent on each other. They are only dependent on name. That's why it is called as multi-valued functional dependency. Now let's take another example again. Here we have employee ID, e-name, department and designation. Okay, so here employee ID 1, e-name is John. Okay, so employee ID is determining e-name. Okay, employee ID is determining e-name. But one employee ID, for employee ID 1 there are 2 different departments, production and marketing. Okay, so again employee ID is determining department because it is a multi-valued functional dependency. Remember, it is a multi-valued functional dependency. That's why we can have different values for same person. Okay, similarly employee ID is determining designation. One is employee ID 1 is working in production department as a manager. Employee ID 1 is working in marketing department as an assistant manager. It is allowed because it is a multi-valued functional dependency. Okay, but employee name, department and designation, these three what we can say, these 3 attributes are not dependent on each other. They are independent attribute. They are dependent on employee ID only. Okay, so this is multi-valued attribute. In multi-valued attribute there is only one determinant. Okay, there is only one attribute which is determining another attribute. Okay, and all other remaining attributes are independent of each other. They are not dependent on each other. Okay, so this is multi-valued functional dependency. And the last type of functional dependency is transitive functional dependency. Okay, so transitive functional dependency is what? It is used to give indirect relationship between attribute. Okay, they are not directly dependent on each other. They are the functional dependency is indirect functional dependency. Okay, so here let's take this example. This example consists of author ID, author name, book name and country. These 4 attributes are given. Now my functional dependency is author ID determines author name. Okay, 1 means Balguru Swami, 2 means Scott Mayers, 3 means Ramkrishna. Okay, means author ID is determining author name. This is true. Author name is determining country. This is also true. Okay, because when we say E. Balguru Swami, then that author is from India. When we say Scott Mayers, then that author is from America. Okay, so author name is determining country. So that is true. So if author ID is determining author name and author name is determining country, then indirectly author ID is determining country. Okay, this is also true. So this is called as transitive functional dependency. Okay, it is simple that if X is determining Y is determining Z, then X is determining Z. So this is transitive functional dependency. Okay, so again remember, not every relation satisfies all functional dependencies. Okay, some may consist of 2 functional dependencies. Some relation may satisfy 3 functional dependencies, or some may satisfy only 1 functional dependency. Not all functional dependencies are satisfied by every relation. Okay, so this is all about functional dependency session. In this session we have studied what is meant by functional dependency, what are the properties of functional dependency, and what are different types of functional dependencies. When one attribute is dependent on another attribute, then we can say that there is a functional dependency between those 2 attributes. Okay, So this is all about today's session. Today's session is over. Thank you.